Hello children. Today we are going to start with chapter 2 of economics, people as resource. Before explaining the topics within the chapter, I would like to explain few glossary words. The first word is resource. Any material which can be transformed in a way that it becomes more valuable and useful is known as a resource. Natural resource. A natural resource is anything on or above the earth that people use to meet their needs. Human resource. By the term human resources, we mean the size of population of a country along with its efficiency, educational qualities, productivity, organizational abilities. Economic activities. All those activities that give income to the people are called economic activities. Primary activities. These include those occupations which are closely related to man's natural environment, for example, agriculture, hunting. Secondary activities. The occupations which produce finished goods by using the products of primary activities as raw materials. Tertiary activities. Tertiary activities consists of all service occupations. The chapter People as Resource is an effort to explain population as an asset for the economy rather than a liability. Now here I would like to explain you the two words asset and liability, which are going to come again and again in this chapter. Asset means a valuable thing, whereas liability means a burden. So population becomes human capital when there is investment made in the form of education, training and medical care. In fact, human capital is the stock of skill and productive knowledge embodied in them. People as a resource is a way of referring to a country's working people in terms of their existing productive skills and abilities. Investment in human capital yields a return just like investment in physical capital. Human capital and physical capital you have already read in your previous chapter 1. This can be in the form of higher income earns. A large population has been considered a liability rather than an asset. It can be turned into a productive asset by investment in human capital. Now let us take an example of a country, Japan. Countries like Japan had invested in human resource. They did not have any natural resource. These countries are developed rich countries. They import the natural resource needed in their country. Now how do they become rich or developed? They have invested on people, especially in the field of education and health. So these people have made efficient use of other resources like land and capital. Efficiency and the technology evolved by people have made these countries rich. The next topic is economic activities. The various activities have been classified into three main sectors, that is primary, secondary and tertiary, which I already explained you in your glossary words. Primary sector includes agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry farming, mining and quarrying. Manufacturing is included in the secondary sector. Trade, transport, communication, banking, education, health, tourism, services, insurance, etc. all are included in the tertiary sector. Now the activities in this sector result in the production of goods and services. These activities add value to the national income, and these activities are called economic activities. Now economic activities are further divided into two parts: market activities and non-market activities. Market activities involve remuneration to anyone who performs, that is, activity performed for pay or profit. These include production of goods or services, including government service. Non-market activities are the production for self-consumption. These can be consumption and processing of primary product and on account production of fixed assets. As you can see in the picture, these picture shows the example of primary sector. These picture shows secondary sector, and these activities shows the tertiary economic activity. Quality of population. The quality of population depends upon the literacy rate, health of a person, indicated by life expectancy and skill formation acquired by the people of the country. The quality of the population ultimately decides the growth rate of the country. Illiterate and unhealthy population are a liability for the economy. Literate and healthy population are always an asset. Education contributes towards the growth of society. It enhances the national income, cultural richness, and increases the efficiency of governance. There is a provision made for providing universal access and quality in elementary education with a special emphasis on girls. There is also an establishment of pace setting of schools like Navodaya Vidyalaya in each district. Vocational streams have been developed to equip large number of high school students with occupations related to knowledge and skills. Health. The health of a person helps him to realize his potential and the ability to fight illness. An unhealthy person always becomes a liability for an organization indeed. Health is an indispensable basis for realizing one's well being. Henceforth, improvement in the health status of the population has been the priority of the country. Our national policy too aims at improving the accessibility of health care, family welfare, and nutritional service with a special focus on the underprivileged segment of population. Over the last 5 decades, India has built up a vast health infrastructure and has developed manpower required at primary, secondary, and tertiary sector in government as well as in the private sector. The next topic is unemployment and types of unemployment. Unemployment is said to exist when people who are willing to work at the going wages cannot find jobs. Now, types of unemployment are seasonal unemployment and disguised unemployment. Seasonal unemployment happens when people are not able to find jobs during some months of the year. People dependent upon agriculture usually face such kind of problem. There are certain busy seasons when sowing, harvesting, weeding, threshing is done. So certain months do not provide much work to the people dependent on agriculture. On the other hand, in case of disguised unemployment, people appear to be employed. They have agricultural plot where they find work. This usually happens among family members engaged in agricultural activity. The work requires the service of 5 people but engages 8 people. So 3 people are extra. These 3 people also work in the same plot as the others. The contribution made by the 3 extra people does not add to the contribution made by the 5 people. So if 3 people are removed, the productivity of the field will not decline. The field requires the service of 5 people and the 3 extra people are disguised unemployment. Unemployment leads to wastage of manpower resource. People who are an asset for the economy turn into a liability. And there is a feeling of hopelessness and despair among the youth. Unemployment tends to increase economic overload. The dependence of the unemployment on the working population increases. So unemployment has detrimental impact on the overall growth of an economy. Now let us discuss the employment scenario in 3 sectors, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. Already explained you earlier. Agriculture is the most labor absorbing sector of the economy. In recent years, there has been a decline in the dependence of population on agriculture, partly because of disguised unemployment discussed earlier. Some of the surplus labor in agriculture has moved to either the secondary or the tertiary sector. In the secondary sector, small scale manufacturing is the most labor absorbing. In case of the tertiary sector, various new services are now appearing like biotechnology, information technology and so on. So these were the topics in the chapter People as Resource. I hope all the topics are clear to you. Thank you, children.